Hello, friends. I am Chevy. Welcome to my shed. How are you today? How's life in your world? How's things where you are? I hope it's fantastic. Everything here is great. I had a good weekend. I legit enjoyed, after last week of having just got a kind of week, I went ahead and had a good weekend. I played some games Friday night, which was weird. I haven't done that in a long time. And went to bed late, which is very strange for me. And then Saturday, I got up and I don't remember what I did, but eventually I was like, I'm going to go take the bike out. So I got the bike out and I went for a ride. I stopped and visited my parents for a little while. Just kind of rode around, went through some old back roads, places I like to go, and I just enjoyed that time. Malia last year, she bought me a new helmet because she had done some research that says that helmets should be replaced every like the foam gets weak over time or whatever. So she wanted to buy me a new helmet, so we bought helmets. Or she has one. She bought me a helmet that had comms, which I never had before. So it's got Bluetooth and we can talk or whatever. So I turned it on and I played some music, but I just don't like it. I prefer the silence. That and you kind of have to turn the music up really loud, and then it just sounds real tinny, and it doesn't sound good. And I like my music to sound good, so I just didn't. I just rode in silence, which was wonderful. Saturday night, my oldest, came over. She had, I think I showed you the cutouts that she did. She had another project, so we needed to get some hardware. Oops. Needed to get some hardware, so we kind of drove around to a bunch of hardware places in town, found them at one last place, and then we got dinner together. So we went out and got some wings and stuff. So it was a really nice day. And then Sunday, she was here. I went to visit my dad and had, hung out with him for a little while. Took him to get some Frosties, and it's his favorite thing on the planet. And then came home and. My youngest came over. She was at a friend's house, and she came over, and we decided to go get Mexican. That was my choice. As we've said before on the channel, like if somebody says, "What do you want to eat?" 100% of the time, I'm going to choose something Mexican. In this town, if we had Indian, it would be probably a 70-30. I would choose Mexican over Indian 70% of the time. But when I want Indian food, I want Indian food. So we went to Mexican, and by the time we got done there, we went and got groceries. Malia had come back from her trip in Mexico. So it was just a really, a nice weekend with lots of family stuff, which is good. I enjoyed relaxing. I finished the book I was reading, which we'll probably talk about at some point. I might... so the series that I've been reading is this Joe Pickett, there was a TV show based on this character. I might watch it. I'm curious. I heard it wasn't very good, and it only ran for 2 seasons before it got canceled. But I'm curious. If nothing else, I'd like to see the TV show's interpretation of the Rockies and the kind of setting this all takes place in. But there's 24 books in the series, and I'm currently on book 3. And while I very much liked book 1, I have different feelings about books 2 and 3 so far. So I'm definitely not going to do a review of all 24 books, but I think what I'll probably do is read a few more and then do a batch review. Because I have some suspicions, and we'll see if those suspicions pan out as I continue reading. But other than that, I pretty much chilled. There's a lot that needs done around here, especially on the outside of the house, but it's 90 degrees this week. It's supposed to be 95 tomorrow. I'm not into that. I can't deal with heat like that. So this is going to be a chilling inside week, and maybe getting some inside projects done. I'm still trying to finish up the flooring project from last year, baseboards and door trim and all that kind of stuff needs done. But yeah, it ended up being just a lovely weekend. My kid is playing summer softball, so softball's back on. We have practices 2 or 3 nights this week. We have a game this weekend. So I think that we played this league last year, and I think it lasted 5 or 6 weeks. So it's not the entire summer, but it's a lot of the summer. And then next week, so both of the kids are here. Next week they're going to 4-H camp, so they won't be here. So there won't be any softball or anything that week. We'll see what happens. So yeah, ended up a nice little weekend to cap off a week of just kind of feeling whatever, you know. I had somebody reach out on Instagram yesterday, because they saw my video about the antidepressants that I used to take. And in all of those videos, whenever I talked about mental health stuff, I've always said, if you need anything, if you want to talk about it, please reach out. And often, multiple times a year, sometimes every month, somebody will reach out to me and ask me questions about how I was feeling, whatever. And when this person was asking me like specifically symptoms, and I remembered that I had started a journal. When I started taking it, I started a daily, like, here's how I'm feeling on this medicine, here's how, here, whatever. And I went and read it. And so I think I started the medicine in 2016. No, it was 2013. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, so I took it for like 7 years. No. 5 years? I stopped taking it in 2018, 2019? I don't remember. Anyway. I read this journal so I could answer some of their questions, and it was surprising. I talked a lot about my relationship, which I didn't know it at that time was the following year was going to be completely, there wasn't a relationship anymore, and it was really interesting to see through the lens of what I felt or didn't feel at that time versus this week. This week having one of those kind of not necessarily depression, but also it kind of is, when you don't have the motivation and stuff, that's depression. That's a form of it, and it's a cycle. But I got to see the difference, and it's miles apart, and I appreciate how much better my life is right now than it was in 2013. So, yeah, I had a wonderful little end cap to my week. What'd you do this weekend? I have a few things to talk about this week, but I'm looking for more ideas. If you have ideas, please let me know. Thank you for being here as always. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, being amazing friends and wonderful people. I really appreciate you. And I'll see you again tomorrow. Today's word you should know sounds smart is wane. It is a verb meaning to gradually decrease, to fade away, to become diminished. Once she finally received the Cartier watch from her father, Karen's interest on the timepiece quickly waned. Wane. W-A-N-E. That's one of the moon, like the moon is waxing or waning, right? I get waning. What is it? Why waxing? I never understood that.